10 seconds.
Now comes the part where we throw our heads back and laugh. Ready?
Ready!
How dare you!
Welcome to Nevermind the Furthermore, your morning dose of creative conversation and coffee with your host, Brian K. Morris, independent publisher, freelance hybrid author, award-winning playwright, Facebook famous YouTuber, and former mortician's assistant. Get ready to start your day off right.
All right, who's ready for some creative conversation this morning? Good morning, everyone. Hope you're having a fantastic hump day. That's right, it's the day of humpage and new comic book day. Ooh, who's excited? Anyway, glad to see you all here. Hope you're having a great morning so far. And as always, let's get this thing started because we got a lot of comments rolling in and we're grateful for that. Anyway, welcome to the best 60 minutes of your day. And we're going to start off with an attitude of gratitude to Jeffrey Hayes and Plasma Fire Graphics. Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you. Hit the button, Brian. Okay. Crime, science fiction, any genre that you can imagine, Plasma Fire Graphics can come up with the graphics for you, whether it's a book trailer or wraparound cover or just the graphics you need to sell your work. Jeffrey Hayes is the person to talk to. He's great to work with, as I well know, and he's also very indie friendly, affordable in his pricing. So check out his Facebook page and check out the plasmafiregraphics.com webpage, and then contact Jeffrey and put him to work for you. That's Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you, because it definitely matters to your readers. And we also want to say that we're a part of the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. We have banded together to help each other grow our channels. And let's see. I think you get the rest of the night off with us. But then tomorrow we start out with the yearly premiere of Ted and Carl's Cigar show. And followed at 7 p.m. by Comic Book Spectrum with myself, Eric Hawkins, Clyde Hall, and Brian Rodman every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central Time. And that's followed by Stupid O'Clock and the Stupid After Show. Stupid O'Clock starts at 9 p.m. Eastern, and Last Man Standing, excuse me, I'm going by the old name, Last Man Standing, will start up at 11 p.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. Central Time. So please check us out. 7 days a week of entertainment and enlightenment. That's the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. Also, please give our Facebook page a like if you would, please. Also, we want to thank our Patreon subscribers. Patreon is a monthly subscription service where you can support your favorite creators directly with a modest financial stipend. And we've got a special series of blogs that we're doing right now. I just realized that there's a special anniversary in my life, and I wanted to share it with my Patreon subscribers. So they're getting a 4-part, I believe it's a 4-part, 3-part, 4-part. Anyway, there's a lot of writing from me coming to you this week. And you can see it for only $1 a month. And your generosity is appreciated. It helps keep the show going. And if you want to see your name here as one of our supporters, check us out at www.patreon.com. You'll be glad you did. I'll be glad you did too. Anyway, so let's get on with the comments. And dear Lord, has everybody been productive this morning? Good people, good people. Anyway, scrolling. And up in the first part here is Mike, Jimmy, Lorshon, Brian. Always a lovely man. I'm so glad you're here. Hello, Nevermore. After 2 horrible sick days, I am finally back in action. Dude, I'm glad you're back. I'm back behind the wheel again. Man, I'm glad you're feeling better. Right now is a bad time to be ill. So Because what's the first thing we think everyone's got, right? So, Mike, Jimmy, I'm so glad you're still with us, and I'm glad you're even gladder. I think that you're willing and ready to create your amazing life on Cora book. And Carl Westman, good morning to you, my friend. Good to hear you're better now, Mike Jimmy. I agree completely. And hello, Mike Jimmy. Glad to hear you're better. Keep it up, says Donna Carly Carlene. So you've just been given the order, Mike Jimmy. No more sickness, all right? And picked up my new prescription glasses. Someone help me find the view popping settings on real life. No joke. Yeah, mine. I'm still having trouble with the autofocus, and I've had these for months. Unfortunately, I've gotten past the point where these are more decoration than useful. They are totally necessary now. Carl Weston says, "View bobbing. I did see your photos on Facebook. They look pretty good." Yeah, and he's a very handsome fellow. And Mike Jimmy says, Carl Weston, it's a game joke. In first person shooters, you can turn off the bobbing view of the player because it can cause nausea. Oh, that's true. I remember back when I did play video games, first person shooters. Cookie and I were good on Halo. In fact, we conquered all three levels, all the levels, excuse me. I don't remember 3 or 4, but the legendary level where you get to hear everybody swearing at you. That was fun. Oh, duh. It could take a while to get used to new glasses. Yeah, and this morning I forgot to clean mine, so. Anyway, Michaela Jade, hey there. When I stayed up late writing, got a lot done. I'm super excited about what's coming up this year. That's the thing. I am really excited by all the stuff I've got planned this year as far as my own work goes. I'm in the process I'm about a quarter done with the final edit on something for Stormgate Press for the Captain Hawkins anniversary book. Then I've got 2 proposals to shoot out as soon as possible. One's for a novel that I've been invited to write, and the other's for a really bizarre alternate history that I am so intrigued by that I was given this lead, and I'm like, let's check this out. So I need a lot of coffee this morning. But anyway, so I've got that, and then editing Doc Saga. 3 more chapters, by the way. If you subscribe to my Patreon page, you can read all so far. I'm posting another one on Saturday, I think it is. So something to look forward to for everyone. So anyway, Carl Weston says, but anyway, no, getting back to the thing, I am super excited about what Rising Tide is going to be doing this year, as far as our writing goes. And we've got some cool stuff planned for our broadcasting too. So stay tuned, as they say. And Carl Weston says, hey, Michaela, it sounds like you're really on a writing spurt. Yeah, when you get that feeling, man, you don't want to get up from the typewriter or even to go to the bathroom. And good morning, Teresa Dunn. Mwah. Hope you are ready for a good day today, and I hope you get one too. Poor Teresa, her husband had some surgery that he was going to get. Nothing life-threatening, but some surgery he needed, and got put off. So everybody be extra nice to Teresa today, okay? She can use it. And Michaela J says, yep, I got that first project done. Then Obsidian Hearts by Linnea Fletcher is now out on Kindle Unlimited, updated and re-edited. Very cool. I'm going to brush off one of my old projects this year and put it back on live sale again, for shows and stuff, because I've got a couple of stories that could go with it. And now I have another ghost project and Warrior's Honor coming out this spring. Oh yeah, that's right. I should get back to my ghost writing project. Fortunately, there's no deadline on it. So, and well done, Michaela. Totally agree. Michaela's on fire this morning, and keep up the good work, sweetheart. And Carl West says, at times the project holds you hostage and demands you finish it. That was Volcana. Now, oh my gosh, 7 years ago. Wow, I can't believe it's been that long. But we are going to be doing the sequel because it's starting to get in here, and it's Volcana saying, get your stuff out of the way because I demand your full attention. So I'm excited by that. And yeah, Michaela's got this. You got that right, Mike Jimmy. And it really do be like that, Carl. It's true, Mike Jimmy. Yeah, when you get inspired, man, it just transcends all sorts of physical feelings, and you want to get this thing done. Carl Weston says, my own unwillingness to do multiple projects has me hostage right now. I don't want to do the next book because I know that I'll never finish the current one if I do. That's the thing. It's taken me years, Carl, to the point where I can multitask now on books, and I can only do 2 projects at once. But once I got in the home stretch of this Captain Hawkins story, this had to be the project. I had to focus on it. But I had an editing job that I could do it for a while. Then I'd go over to Hawkland, then back to the editing job, etc., etc. And yeah, multitasking can be difficult, but sometimes it helps get that second project nudged along until it can become project one, and then you dive in on that. So no, but Carl, you've got your work rhythm. Don't screw with it. It's make this work. And I'm looking forward to your books, man. I want to see something come out this year. And sometimes that happens, Carl. Indeed it does, Michaela. And I just know how I am. Once I get going on the next one, I will ignore the one that I should be doing. Yeah, because I remember right after I lost my job and I decided to do this full time until something better came along, then it turned out to be the best thing. I started another novel. I don't talk about it often, but oh God, what was his name? It was going to be a character called Sebastian Cole, I believe it was. And it's one of those projects that is starting to go, hey Brian, remember me? So I'm thinking in the next couple of years I'm going to be putting out a book with that character. But anyway, yeah, I know how once you abandon a project and really start concentrating on the next one, it's tough to get back. But which is probably why I've had like an attempt on Aquatic and Volcana 2, where I've had other priorities and I've not gone back to them. This year I do plan to get back to one of those 2. It will be either Volcana or it will be Aquatic, probably. And it's tough because I've got the cover in hand for Volcana, but I've got somebody waiting to finish the cover on Aquatic. So so I've got to be productive. I've got to be productive, and now I need a nap. Well, you can sleep during the next 60 minutes. I promise you nothing will happen, Michaela. Anyway, also want to remind people that if you're watching us on Facebook, please react to this. Give us a like or a love or something. And if you're watching us on YouTube, and this is whether you're watching us live or on the rerun, give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed any part of this. And please, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. That means that you hit the subscribe button with all of your might, and then do unspeakable things to that little bell that pops up so you get notified of all of our future broadcasts. Nick Talker, good to see you this morning, brother. Morning from the mighty Manatee Man, the master of marketing. Hoping your day is starting well. Post-morning chores, I am going to be writing. Oh, excellent. And writing on several games slated for early 2022 release. Boy, that's a mouthful, isn't it? And who's still typing 2021? Show of hands, people. I still haven't gotten the knack that we're in a new year yet. So even though, making a prediction now, you're going to be seeing some people, their names in this chat, I'm predicting good things for this year. I'm hoping I'm one of them. But I'm thinking Carl and Donna, Michaela, Nick, Mike, Jimmy. I think there's going to be corners turned this year, and we're going to see some a reversal of our fortunes, shall we say, in the good way. And poor Michaela, hey Nick from Carl Witzman, and awesome Nick. I agree. Nick is awesome. He really is. So in 2022, asks Nicholas Talker, what opportunities are Rising Tide publications generating that we should be working towards? Brian, anthology, new shared world settings. First of all, first job is to clear the plate. We want to get back to a point where we can work on new projects. I've got Doc Saga that I have shamefully not been able to get back to for over a year. And I owe it to my contributors to get that out this year. So that will be one project, even before my own, with some small exceptions. So yeah, we are going to start a brand new show this year on Rising Tide Broadcasting. It's going to be pre-recorded, more archival, but opportunities for interaction. And also, we're probably going to bring back I postponed it, but we're going to bring back Clever Title Pending again this year. And of course, we'll keep going with Comic Book Spectrum and Nevermind the Furthermore for the foreseeable future, but we are going to tweak both of them a little. I've been doing the format on this show a little too long, and I'm going to be changing things up, see what works, based on new information I've received from others. And also want to mention that on the Rising Tide Publications or broadcasting page on YouTube, in the community page, if you're a fan of Comic Book Spectrum or you want to learn to enjoy it more, I have a poll up there of things maybe that you would like to see. And if you would, please go to the community page and cast your vote for that, if you would, please. There is something that came up that I've shared it with some of the members of the broadcast crew, and they're like, "This sounds like fun." So tomorrow night we may be doing one of those things. So please check in with us tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central for Comic Book Spectrum. It's the comic book show for people who don't exactly like comic books. Anyway, but as far as the publishing goes, yeah, we are going to get Doc Saga out this year. We are going to get a couple of short book collections. I'm still working for some other people, I'm glad to say. And you'll be seeing a bunch of me at Stormgate Press and hopefully Flinch Books and one other a couple other places. Hopefully I've got some stuff at Prose Press that's in the pipeline that I'm hoping will come out this year. But Tommy Hancock is like the rest of us. A little behind and stuff, and that's okay. That's all right. And from the Nest of Small Press Publisher, Saturday nights at 10 p.m. on the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. Morning, all. Wait, the Master of Marketing is here. Yes, and I forgot to mention Nicholas Tockert, who is an amazing, amazing educator. Check out his Friday night show, the Historical Fencing Guild. It is, even if you have no interest in bladed weapons, his stuff is a great reference. His Amazon work is a great reference for anyone that does bladed combat. This you'll get some really good insights on it if you can pick up Nick's books. Plus, you can pick up his Big Stompy Robots game and feel the joy of a great pickup game. And there she is, our darling Willow Schuyler. Mwah! Willow's Pillow Talk. Please check it out. Cryptid Crunch, all kinds of cool stuff coming from the amazing Willow Schuyler, with more that were in the pipeline for 2022. Willow, we love you. And thank you again for reviving the daily mention of us. It is greatly appreciated. And morning, Brian and Madam Executive Producer. Hope all is well. Joe D. McPhee, yes, it is. And I hope you're feeling better, too. Poor Joe has come down with strep throat. You know, and it's one of those things where you hear somebody's fallen ill, and the first thing you think of is, of course, the My Sharona Miley Cyrus. So, fortunately, this was not the case with Joe D. McPhee, and we hope you're feeling better, Joe. We really do, because we need all of our allies together, because we've got to take control of 2022. We've got things to get done. And Mikhail says, good morning, Willow, and back to working the 9 to 5. Well, I'm sorry, Joe, but you're still at home, right? You're still working from home, right? That's at least one good thing, and everyone's saying hello to each other. And let's see. And Mike Jimmy Lorcia says, I need to get back to inking Life on Korra 6, but here I am waiting for the Fez, man. Well, I'm glad you're here, my friend. I'm always glad to see you, Mike Jimmy. You are a great, positive, glowing ball of energy, and we are so privileged to have you here, my friend. And check out Life of Korra when it comes up on crowdfunding soon. It's worth it. Oh my gosh, that's so beautiful. Love his work, and I'm going to be getting in on that too. And Rick Bradley says, good morning, Nevermores. Good morning to you, superstar. How you doing this morning? Good to see you, my friend. And from this with Small Press Publisher, still have a ton of writing to do, but having more fun with the sketch cards, so that's a good excuse for not completing the writing. Understood. And I'm loving the things I'm seeing in your sketch cards, dude. And you ought to put it out there that you might do commissions, because there's a couple of characters I wouldn't mind seeing, and having in my collection. So anyway, again, please check out Jody McPhee every Saturday night at 10 p.m. on his YouTube channel. Always great, entertaining stuff on comic books on there. And William Bove, good morning to you, brother. And I miss the BK Minutes. I miss doing them. I really do. For those of you who may have missed them, BK Minutes was a project I did for about, almost 2 months. Trying to get on I'll give the full transparency in a moment. But I was trying to do BK Minutes as kind of an educational thing for new writers, or to remind veteran writers what they may have forgotten. I find I do that occasionally when I'm seeking information. But unfortunately, Cookie was having stresses at work, and it was logistically difficult for me to send out the work to anyone else. Now, the reason I started doing the BK Minutes was YouTube has a program where you do 1 minute shorts. You have to do a month's worth to qualify for it, but you could get anywhere from $50,000 to $10,000 a month. Well, as usual, life favors the advantaged, and I found out that most of the money was going to people who had millions and millions of viewers, and very little of it was going towards smaller independent creators. And YouTube does that occasionally. And I think they drop the ball in this regard, as do many organizations, but they tend to shower the people with advantages who already have them. The broadcasters with 100,000, 500,000, million, 10 million views, which I understand most of them have worked hard to get where they are. I'm not faulting that. And I'm not faulting YouTube for rewarding them. But I think also they could all give some thought to lower echelon creators who maybe have something but need a little boost to kick up their game. And that's what we were trying to do. We wanted some of that extra shorts money to, we wanted to get into YouTube shorts, basically. And see where their wallet was. But the idea was that we would reinvest in the show, and we would also invest in our network, i.e., picking up the cost of equipment for some people that wanted to upgrade, making it worth their while to be a part of the network. But unfortunately, between Cookie's job and the lack of any traction, we weren't gaining subscribers, and we weren't gaining any sort of attention from it. So Cookie and I mutually decided that it wasn't worth the effort. But William, you'll be gratified to know that we are no longer doing BK Minutes. We're going to be doing longer form stuff. That is one of the shows I will be doing. There's some of us like Michaela Jade, who had an excellent show on Monday on her channel with myself, Carl Westman, and Donna, Carleen, and has had other people on there where we talk about writing and share what we have learned. And Lord knows we've made enough mistakes that you can benefit from our wisdom. But anyway, no, so we are going to be doing longer form things, and I'm currently in the script writing phase of it. So it's going to be pre-recorded. It's going to be a little bit more staged, as were the BK Minutes, but I think you'll like what comes out of it. I'm looking forward to doing them. Rick Bradley says, someone in the office near me is wearing perfume that is taking my sinuses and beating them down. Pain I am in. Go in there and fart or something, fight unfairly. And hi, Brian, and hi, everyone. How are you? We're doing well this morning, William. Mwah. Check out this man's writing. He's good. He's very, very good. Great vampire book I just read from him recently. But anyway, I hope you're doing well, man. Bring us up to speed on you. And hey, William says, Mike, Jimmy, and there is Ted Davies Artistry. Looking forward to the Cigar show tomorrow. Good to see you, my friend. And good morning, superheroes. And there's coffee. God bless you, young man. There's coffee. Yay. Please remember, tomorrow's Comics Unlimited podcast is canceled due to Glenn having contracted COVID. Yeah, I knew that. I wasn't going to say anything. Well, Yeah, and I feel bad for the guy. You know, he and I were talking about when Glenn is going to be relaunching his Kirby book soon. After having a SmackDown, I mean editing on it. Wonder who could have done that. Anyway, but he told me the other day I handed in the thing. I handed in my edit on one of his books, and he said, "Oh no, I just got the test results back. I've got COVID." I said, "If you're trying to get any sympathy out of me for the brutal editing I just did on it, I have no, I have no mercy in that regard." No, at least I made him laugh. So, but he knew that anyway. But yeah, please say a prayer for Glenn. Okay, Carl, get ready. After 15 minutes, cut me off. No, it's getting closer, people. It's circling the waters, and I will go on record as saying I'm just wondering when I will catch it next. And if I do, I've got a heart condition. I am 65, very close to turning 66. Hypertension. My cholesterol's under control though, finally. But I am fatalistic enough to think that if I catch, maybe not the Omicron, but if I get the Delta, somebody else is going to have to take over the show. I am fatalistic enough to think that. So let's all keep safe out there. You know, when I tell you at the end of the show to stay smart and stay safe and to wash your hands, I very bloody well mean it. This community is down at least 2 people that I know of personally because of COVID. And we've had a close call with 3 or 4 others. So please take care of yourselves and each other. I can't stress this enough. I'm done, Carl. And John B. Pica, good to see you, my brother. Hey there, friends and foes. Good morning, Multiverse, and happy Boba Fett Day. Happy New Comics Day. JohnPica.com. This man knows how to party, I'm telling you. Yeah, I have to say, one benefit of doing Comic Book Spectrum is that I used to pick up my comics anytime. I always pick them up regularly. If you have a subscription service, please pick up your comics regularly because missing, they've tied up money into entertaining you, and the least you can do is pick up your comics on a regular basis, whether it's every week, every 2 weeks, every month, whatever. But pick them up. You don't want to leave your local comic shop hanging with those. End of public service announcement. But now I'm like, after the show, after I get Cookie fed, we go out to the comic shop together, and she nags me I spend too much. And but it's become a joy again. I used to go in to just pretty much look at what I already got, and I just look at the shelves just to see what was there. But now, I am reading new comics, and I picked up some really wonderful books like Dead Box, My Bad, Impossible Jones. Oh my God, Impossible Jones is one of the best comics out there, by Carl Kessel and David Hine from Scout Comics, who I gotta admit, I've not seen a whole lot from Scout that made me say, I've got to have that. But I'm a fan of Carl Kessel, not just as an artist, but as a writer. And this book is so much fun. It's like the old Jack Cole Plastic Man, for those in the know. But anyway, I'm excited to go to the comic shop now. So if you want to get excited about the comic shop, please check us out. Also, check out John B. Pica's back of the Cereal Box Network. He's got so much good stuff. And hey, Ted, sorry to hear about Glenn. Definitely. And wait, we're doing a cigar show? That is news to me. And yep. See, the co-host is always the last to know. I think Eric and Brian and Clyde and Joe will tell you how little I tell them. It's like, what? We're doing what? Anyway, like Jimmy Lurch of the Bruin is mocking us with his laughter. And hey, yo, Pops, how are you doing, my brother? Hey, Pops has a Kickstarter going, coming up soon, with Crom, his character. Dude, looking forward to that. And no cigar shows till April. What have you been advertising then, goof? And once Uncle Carl gets that Social Security check next week, you'll never get another bit of work out of him. Yeah, right. Maybe the cigar show, but just for fun. And Ted, is there a new Comics Unlimited tomorrow? Yes, is there? Oh, with Glenn feeling down, that's a good question. And Brian Robin says, good morning, my fellow Brian and Nevermorians. Last night on the Dastardly Dingoes podcast, we had a great conversation about inspiration and creativity. Part 1. That's right. We only got through one question out of 5 last night. That happens, doesn't it? That's how good it went. Thank you to all who showed up and had amazing things to say. That was a good show. I was listening in the background while I was getting some of my own work done. Yeah, definitely check out the Dastardly Dingoes, 7 p.m. every Tuesday night on the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. Great conversation. And for once, you had all 4 people there. I'm glad to see that. And if you missed the show last night, check that out. There's been some good stuff this week. Last night's comic book or not comic books, that hasn't been great till tomorrow night. Yes, I watched Doctor Who, but no, last night's Dastardly Dingoes was terrific. Michaela, who's now her own network, she had a terrific show on Monday about writing and such, about creativity. It's been a good week for broadcasting. And Pops, there it is, the Indiegogo Project Center, the Cromniverse Anthology, and there is that link. Check it out. Coming to you soon. And still have to plan out the show for the next month between guests and topics, says from this was Small Press Publisher. I want to do comic books, or why did I keep for a while I kept calling Comic Book Spectrum Clever Title Pending. I want to get back to doing Clever Title Pending. I want to bring it back for about 6 weeks or 6 to 8 weeks. And I've got some ideas, some topics. We're gonna be mostly panel discussion, and things like that. Maybe a few solo shows where you can interview creators, but for the most part, it's going to be just me and a whole bunch of other people talking about stuff. And Skyman should do a crossover with Crom. Comics Talk with Pops Van Zandt, great channel on YouTube. Can't do that due to licensing. It doesn't work that way. So, sorry to say. But you never know. And the thing is, I would submit something to Crom, but in all honesty, Pops, I'd love to work with you. But right now, I am so freaking busy that I'm trying to get my own stuff out of the door. So I'm not taking on too many new projects, unfortunately. But if you get an issue 2, I may be knocking on your door, dude. And Brian Robin says, get red for Princess Warriors. No, get ready for Princess Warriors. That's right. Page 1 of my new webcomic series drops next week exclusively on Patreon. My nieces and I teamed up to tell you the tale of 3 princess sisters who must travel through the Forest of Fright and the Mountains of Madness to face Mog the Mean and rescue their parents, the king and queen of Etrandlia. Join the adventure at patreon.com/Brian Rodman. Definitely. Brian's got a lot of great content on his Patreon page. In fact, this is a good place to show you guys and gals. But a lot of the people who support my show, I didn't realize that would still be up. Hold on. Sorry, Brian. Anyway, Cindy, Jeffrey, John, Matt, Dan, George, Damian, Renmelian, Morgan. Oh my God, Morgan's got so much stuff on there. Keisha, Brian, Eric, Clyde, all these wonderful people. Amy, Pops, Angie, all of them have pages of their own. Please support them too. All right, if you can, because that's the one nice thing. One of many nice things about Patreon is it's kind of like Kickstarter in that you are supporting independent creators, but you get stuff for it. And like right now, like I said, we had an anniversary that let's see, I think the first chapter is going to drop tonight, and then it's going to go till Friday. It's a special 3-parter, and it's a story of what could have been the 4th worst day of my life. Yes, 4. I'm keeping track. Sorry about that sniff. but it turned out to be the second best. Now, what the hell is Brian talking about? Well, if you go to uh, if you go to let's see here, where did I put it? If you go to patreon.com/Brian K. Morris, you can read my exclusive blog. Every blog deserves a name. And for $5 a month, you can read my work in progress, because this week we are going to be publishing chapter 28 of The Terrors, my brand new book that I'm editing right now for myself, actually for Cookie. But anyway, please check it out. We've got all kinds of cool stuff on there. And that reminds me, folks, if you are planning to visit us at SalukiCon this coming Saturday and Sunday, make other plans. We are actually, SalukiCon has been postponed till April 15th. It'll be a one-day affair rather than two, from 11 to 7. And I am very, very excited that it's going to happen this year. It's been delayed since 2020, but there's a whole bunch of really terrific people that will be there. Many of the Nevermorians, including Amy Hale, Kathy Jackson, Lacey Lemke, Molly Daniels, and so many more will be in attendance. So please come see us, all right? But there has been a major COVID spike in Southern Illinois as of late. In fact, damn near everywhere. And the powers that be decided to delay the convention just a couple of months. But we will be there. We will be there. So please check it out. So anyway, Brian, your concept there sounds amazing. This sounds like so much fun. Please check out Brian's Patreon page. He is so good. And Michaela J says, I just learned yesterday I'll be headed out to South Dakota again this year for Wild Deadwoods Reads book signing June 18th. Well, yay you. Good girl. Because I know you had such a good time there last year. And please check out Michaela J. That's authormichaelaj.com. And okay, back to writing inspired. Excellent. That's what we're here for, Ted. Get busy. And thank you, Ryan Permisson, as always, for sharing the show. And good morning, Nevermorians. How are you? We are doing great this morning. Hope you can say the same. And subscribe to Nerd Culture Channel on YouTube for great nerdy content, because it's amazing. And also check out the debut episodes of Boba's Weekly Bounty. That's right, where they talk about the brand new Boba Fett streaming TV show. So definitely check that out. Mike Jimmy Larson de Bruin says, as I've actually picked up the pen to ink, be sure to sign up for Life on Core number 5 launching this Friday. And now we lurk. That's right. You get some stuff busy here, my brother. And anyway, that is good news. And definitely remind us. And yeah, in Kuruba, one of our Russian bots is up there. And get the bot, Carl. Get the bot. Carl goes bot hunting. And Ryan Permisson continues, in case you missed it, check out the season premiere of And I Quote with writer and documentary filmmaker Glenn B. Fleming. Yes, Glenn is going to be launching in the next couple of months, relaunching, I should say, the Jack Kirby book. And I have read it. I'm the editor. And it's going to be good. And there's going to be an accompanying DVD with it, I think. And all kinds of really, really sweet goodies with that. So definitely check that book out. It is going to be worth your involvement. And Michaela J says, my newsletter goes out on the 27th of every month. This month it goes out on my birthday. How weird. Well, that's the one thing I guarantee mine will never go out on my birthday, because I sent mine out on the 1st, and my birthday is on the 2nd of March. So, definitely check out Michaela's. You can be one of Michaela's subs. And definitely subscribe to that. And also subscribe to Cindy Kep's newsletter at ckoepp.com. I recognize when we have a short show that we can't get to, she doesn't get her break until then. But anyway, and also you can sign up for my newsletter. It's free at risingtide.pub. We just sent a special episode out yesterday to announce that we would not be at SalukiCon, because we do have some people in that area, and we didn't want them coming down and being disappointed that we weren't there. But to ease their disappointment, we came up with a new writing quote at the end, and also a couple of special links to some videos we thought were fun. And wait, Brian is predicting good things for me. Wait, no, I want those things to leave me alone. Let me wallow. Well, Carl, may you wallow in the misery of prosperity, okay? They say money can't buy happiness. We won't tell you where to shop, all right? Think of all the alcohol you could buy. Always a silver lining. Embrace the success, Carl. Got him, Pops. Thanks. Thank you, bot killer. And Michaela Jade, to sign up, head to my website, authormichaelajade.com. And everyone's saying hello to each other. And there he is, the lovely and delightful Damien Arwold. I'm drinking some of your coffee this morning. It's delish. And good morning, every last one of you sweet human animals. Go check out last night's Dastardly Dingles for part 1 of a great discussion on creativity. Yeah, that was a super show you guys did last night. I was enjoying it a lot. I had it in the background while I was working. So I've actually made a stab at cleaning the office here. And we're also working on possibly moving the show into the comics room, into the basement, because we've got a room down there. It is comfortable. It has great sound, really good lighting. But unfortunately, we wouldn't be able to run a direct link from the router to the computer because there's to be 2 floors between them. And I'm not about to take it through the heating system, believe me. I might have to tap Carl on the shoulder and get some advice on this. But otherwise, what we may do here is once we clean this place up, because it's a crap hole. It really is. I've been piling stuff up here thinking I want everything I crave around me. And then I thought, no, it behooves me to walk up and down the stairs every day. Excuse me. So we are working on that. And we may reconfigure this room to be a more conducive atmosphere for broadcasting. So one way or another, we're going to get this figured out. But anyway, we got the comic book room in order. I've only got like one short box worth of comic books I haven't incorporated into the others. So yeah, but anyway, yeah, definitely check out the Dastardly Dingoes last night. I'm so proud they wanted to be a part of the Rising Tide Network, and we are proud to have them. And when you check them out, oh, I forgot, John. I forgot. We do have something later on today, and that's Dr. John, the original gangsta. I say gangsta. He is an amazing artist, amazing animator. He's got a project on Kickstarter right now for the next book in his Bloodwing Angel series. The first book was fantastic, and this deserves your full support. But anyway, check him out. He's got a drawing show usually on Wednesday afternoons. Please check him out. John, I apologize for missing you, man. But anyway, it's a good show. And let's get that off of there and get back to your comments. And let's see here. There we go. Anyway, Damien, we're glad you're here, brother. And join us live, says Ryan Primison, every Thursday for Boba's Weekly Bounty with Phil and Phoenix of the Distance Nerding Podcast. Check it out. And Damien says, and don't forget, areyoomniversal.com for all things Realmer X. Plus, Damien and I are working on a project together. I'm so looking forward to seeing the finished product. I really am, because I'm getting more ideas, more percolating in my skull. And Ryan Permison says, if you want to be a guest on the great conversation show And I Talk, it runs on noon Eastern on Saturday mornings, or 11 a.m. in the central region. You can join him. You sign up at the Calendly.com site and you can schedule yourself on his show. And he's right. There is great conversation. Ryan's a great interviewer, and you get to promote your projects while you're there. And yes, sir, we will do that for you. We are gonna bring Cookie home. That's one of the things we're working on this year. So, as always, and I think I said it, but BK Ments and Michaela's tidbits are really needed to discuss the craft. Carl, I agree. There is, I've been doing this full time for 10 years now. And much has changed. Much continues to change. And there is so much damn disinformation out there. I'm seeing a number of advertisements. In fact, I checked one out the other night. I wanted to see how much of a scam this was. And basically, they were saying, well, what you do is you just flood your Amazon author page with crappy books. You hire other people to write books for you, and you go to some place like Indeed, where you probably get somebody who, I don't want to diss the people on, places like Indeed or freelancer.com or Fiverr. But sometimes you get what you pay for. And if you get somebody who will write a novel for $5, you're going to get a novel that isn't worth $5 to read. And the thing is, the people who I think are really good at what they do don't need a place like that. I'm not saying I'm excellent, but opportunities are now coming to me rather than please buy my writing, but no, I agree. There is a serious lack of information and a serious excess of disinformation out there, and Michaela and I are both working to not be a part of that and to cut through all that. And what is it? I've heard it said that as you climb the ladder of success, you must always reach back to help someone else. Michaela does that. That's part of the Rising Tide mission, which is what your Patreon support is very, very much appreciated. Because sometimes Brian helps, he doesn't help himself. I get lectured all the time about that. But no, you should all, the people who gave me advice as I was rising initially didn't have to do it. It wasn't in there, it wouldn't have helped them one bit, except to write their karma, perhaps. But many people were very unselfish with their information and their help, and they continue to be. And those people, I will spend the rest of my life repaying them by paying it forward. So, for every Dirk and Bobby and Warren and who, and of course the people in my own Rising Tide network, this is how you repay it. You help somebody else and you expand the circle. That's how it works. Ryan Permesson said, had an interview this week. It went well. I hope I made it to round 2 of interviews next week. Yes, Ryan is a recent college graduate and he is now looking for work. But Ryan, hope you're taking some time and working on your own writing. Dude, I'm standing ready to pull you up the ladder too, buddy. And goofy morning, everyone. Carol launched Unstable Frequencies on Kickstarter, says A Smiley. Yes, I was watching Dastardly Dingoes and I forgot about Kara's. Darn it. I'm going to go back and watch it. But yeah, definitely check that out. There's also something else I'm looking at right now to support, and that's the 50th anniversary. Oh, and my heartbeat's glad to hear this, of Kolchak, the Night Stalker. One of the best TV shows. If you love spooky stuff, it's one of the best TV shows ever, with the great Darren McGavin from A Christmas Story in probably the role I want to most remember him for. He plays a freelance reporter named Carl Kolchak who keeps, he's very cynical, very acerbic, and he keeps finding out that he's a knight in white armor, much to his amazement. And one of the episodes is the first episode to actually make me cry. It was so powerful. It was an episode where this one creature that they were hunting was roaming the streets of Chicago, killing people, and it could transform itself into the image of the person you love the most. And Carlos, he's killed a few monsters in his time. He's like, I'm gonna go look for him. There's a story there, and I'm the perfect person. I love no one. There's no one I really care for. And there was this sweet lady played by the great Ruth McDevitt, who was like their romance advice columnist. And he was always nice to her and everything. Not so much to his editor or anyone else on the staff, but he was always nice to her. And then he's hunting down this creature, got it pinned in an alley, and then suddenly he hears her voice from the alley. And out she comes and she's like, Carl, I'm scared. I'm hurt. Please come here and help me. And he's, tears are rolling down his face and mine, coincidentally. And he's like, Emily, stay back. If you take one more step, I'm going to have to shoot you because I know who you may be. And it's, it's one of those great acting jobs where you see the gears turning. You see the gears turning. and it is powerful. It's great. You see it's affecting me even, 50 years later. But no, they've got all kinds of great covers, all kinds of great essays in there, including Christian Matheson, the co-creator of Bill and Ted, whose father wrote for the Twilight Zone, did a whole bunch of great supernatural novels and short stories. And he and Matheson did the scripts to the original two Night Stalker movies, The Night Stalker and The Night Strangler. So anyway, I'm looking at that one too. I have permission, and thanks, Carl. Yeah, seriously, Carl, thank you very much. We do appreciate it. Like I said, I will be back with more stuff. I promise. And very damn cool to hear on the longer form, Brian. Well, yeah, it's one thing that frustrated. Thank you, William. I appreciate that, and I appreciate your words too, Carl. One thing that frustrated me about the BK Minutes was the fact that everything I was talking about deserved more time. And here I am trying to stammer my way through the broadcast. And towards the end of the run, I did get some things down first time. It was a good exercise in broadcasting for me. It helped me with a lot of my delivery because you don't have time for like I normally do. Stuttering is out, but it helped me with a lot of how I present things. So in that regard, it was very helpful to me as well. But it also showed me, because I got some good feedback and I got a lot of good comments after the show, that it showed me that there is a need for another show like this. Because Michaela and I don't have the following of, say, a Jenna Morisi or Susan Tisdale, both of whom I respect like crazy. And Tisdale is so cool. She is an awesome lady. I met her in Peoria last year, and she has got a huge heart, and she is a fantastic writer. And and just what she does for the writing community as a whole just knocks me out. It really does. And the thing is, Michaela and I are not up at that level yet. We're getting there, though. And the thing is, we can help people reach our level. Now, we're not sure. I won't speak for Michaela, but I know I can't teach you how to be a Susan Tisdale. I can't teach you how to be a Stephen King. But maybe I'll make you a better William Bove. Who knows? Although William Bove is pretty damn cool as it is. So that's not a horrible thing to be. But anyway, we can help you get a few rungs up on the ladder. Which is, everybody's got to start somewhere, right? Rick Bradley says, I'm tempted, but my farts have been ruled as biowarfare by the Geneva Convention. I could be arrested for war crimes. Did you hear about that lady? I saw it on Philip DeFranco yesterday. There was some I think she's on TikTok. And she wound up selling her farts in a jar. Yeah, and so she was adjusting her diet so she could produce more flatulence, and she wound up having to go to the doctor because her diet to produce more flatulence is basically making her sick. Not say nothing of her farts. But you may be able to sell those. That is a fetish, Rick. Let's just say, without going into too much detail, I wound up on a website. I don't know how. I really don't. This was Black Hat SEO, search engine optimization, but I clicked on this one thing because I thought it was something I'm writing, and somehow it came up on it's all films about various people doing this thing, and I'm like, oh god, I'm ready for the meteor to strike. We have reached the point of our evolution where we deserve death. So anyway, but anyway, just keep that in mind, Rick. Sometimes you have to fight dirty to get what you need. And William Bove, thank you, Brian, so very much for what you said about my rating. Oh, I really dug that vampire book. I want more of it. And when you get another one out, you are to tell me, sir, so that I can pick up a copy. And put in a link to your Amazon work, would you please, sir? And Molly Dales, good morning to you, sweetheart. Mwah. Molly is going to be joining me at the Lexington Legendary Book Bash this year, and I'm looking forward to seeing that. And Love Impossible Jones, isn't that a good book, John? That is, to me, that and The Nebulizer and The Zombieful World of Oz, and of course The Impossibilists, are everything that's right about comic books. I'm serious. And Impossible Jones is just so good. There's just, I want if that book came out every hour, it wouldn't be enough for me. It is so good. And let's see, here we go. Brian, you will not get out of the show that easily, says Carl Witzman. I've got a Ouija board. You are doomed to keep doing this show. Damn it, Carl. Damn it. Maybe we can get one of my Russian bots to take over. No, Carl doesn't want to take over the show is what it is. No, I promise. No, I'm fueled by spite, Carl. That means I'm here for a long, long time. It's going to be me, Keith Richards, and cockroaches at the very end. And I wonder if Carl would actually pimp slap BK over ranting. I also wonder, says from the desk of the small press publisher, I think there are days where Carl would definitely keep that pimp hand strong, if you know what I mean. And I also wonder how hard Madam Executive Producer would laugh if she saw it happen. The world may never know. No, I think you can imagine how hard she would laugh. She would probably have to wring out her depends. You know what I'm saying? So she would probably very much like that. Although she's very protective of me. There was one time I was having serious back problems, and we were visiting a former friend now, and the guy thought it'd be funny to drop himself on the base of my spine, and I think I let out a scream. I was not very happy. She walked over, and no, it wasn't him. No, it's right. Cookie was like kind of leaning over me, and he pushed her, so she landed on my spine. That was it. And she just picked herself up, went over, and backhanded him. It sounded like a rifle shot. And she proceeded to bitch him out. So that's when I knew she liked me. And there really is a funny and cool dark humor vampire comic I read a while back called Redneck. Oh, I think I saw that in our comic shop. I never picked it up, but that sounds cool. It sounded cool. I never read it though. Oh yeah. There are some good supernatural comics out there. And in fact, if you watch our show on Thursday nights, Comic Book Spectrum, we review a lot of horror, a lot of supernatural stuff on there. And even I, despite what Ted Davies says, I review more than my share of independent comics. It's not just Superman, even though they're better than Batman. So anyway, Nicholas Stalker says, Brian, be careful. Yes, the mutant bug is rampaging, but we also have huge power over our fates. You're being smart and careful. Might as well stay upbeat, as it is beyond your power to foresee. Might as well seek joy and peace. It is hard, but you cannot let the darkness get a scrap of territory it didn't earn. Go not gentle is a way of life. I'm not saying it's not going to have a fight, brother. In fact, I have evidence I may have had it in the first wave. But I am fully, I do have my booster. I've had all three, I've had all 3 shots so far. Plus I'm also halfway through my shingle shots and my pneumonia shots, and I got a scheduled tetanus shot. I'm starting to feel like a dartboard, Nick. But I have learned something about how to mitigate that sore arm thing. The lady gave me my shots a couple times ago. Very nice lady from Purdue University. She said, just do this. When you get your shots, do this. Because it works some of the vaccine out of the muscles. Okay? And that's what causes the irritation and swelling. So you work that, and it goes away real fast. So anyway, no, I'm relatively well, but there is that element. I can see the darkness, and I have a feeling it's gonna hit. If it hasn't hit me already, and I've bounced it off, that I'm unaware of. But a little paranoia never killed anyone, Nick. In fact, it's the opposite. And you call it paranoia, perhaps. I call it heightened awareness. But I promise, I'm here as long as I can be. And no Comics Unlimited tomorrow due to Glenn's illness. Oh yeah, just find an excuse, Ted. Just find an excuse, dude. Anyway, no, seriously. And speaking of serious, there's my honey. She is seriously awake. Hi, honey.
Hi.
How you doing?
Haven't found out yet.
Oh, you'll need this then. Am I wrong?
Except it's empty.
Well, I'm sorry. Would you like some?
I'll take a sip.
Yeah, take a couple. Take a rest. So.
Okay, I had 2 sips. I'm good now.
Okay. Well, I know you're good.
You want me to make more coffee?
Why not? I think I'm gonna be here a little while longer.
Okay.
People are commenting.
Oh my goodness, how could they? Talking about you? With you?
I know. Who wants to do that, right?
Well, you do.
What? I like talking to myself?
You like talking about yourself.
Yeah, not necessarily.
Okay, you like talking about what you're doing.
Okay, that I'm proud of the work, maybe not the author. How's that? How's that for sounding good? There's a psychological study right there. Love you, honey. Anyway, and Pops Van Zandt says, please hit that sign up. Need all the help I can get. Definitely, we will help. And sad, no Hellboy update from your point of view, Ted. Yeah, that's right. We need some help. Yeah, that's something. That's the thing. I get a dozen kinds of crap over the fact that I like Superman. So I review Action Comics or Superman very rarely, although I'm a huge fan now of Superman, Son of Kal-El. That's a really good comic. And but no, but usually one of the other three reviews a Hellboy comic at least once every other week, and everybody's like, oh boy, more Hellboy. Oh, Brian's going to talk about DC again. Ugh. So it's like, I'm going to talk about whatever I want. Anyway, we will be doing this every 6 months. Oh, you're playing a book every 6 months? Am I correct? That would be cool. And Brian, at some point on one of our related channels, I would love to do a panel show with you and others on how RPGs have affected our writing. That's a very good topic. Dude, I'm serious. Because I played role-playing games like Dungeons and Dragons, Champions, Call of Cthulhu, Hackmaster, several others, and Doctor Who role-playing game, and it did help. Because you got to learn to think on the fly. Seriously got to think on the fly. And it's good for improvisation and inspiration. So, Nick, that's a super subject. And you were going to get the tap anyway. You were going to get the tap on the shoulder to be on the panels anyway. So, yeah, well, remind me to add that to my list. And Jake's Wonderful Illusions. Quarantine is fun. No, it ain't. It sucks. Jake Lindsay has my Sharona Miley Cyrus. I will reveal that. I'm not gonna COVID shame. I don't want to COVID shame, but this is a warning, people. It's getting closer. Okay, so please take all appropriate precautions. Luke Stone, Randy Zimmerman, they got it. They are now relearning to walk. How much more serious can we make that? They had to have a machine assist them in the simple act of breathing. I've already lost a couple, 3, 4 friends to the disease. Get your damn shots, people. All right, period. Brian Robbins says tomorrow night on Comic Book Spectrum, I will be praising Scout Comics for the first time. Their new series, White Ash, is quite possibly one of the best series I've read. I'll be updating everyone on the first season and reviewing issue 1 of season 2 of the series. Tune in and get ready to go buy this. That is the purpose of Comic Book Spectrum, in that we review comics that have come out within the last month. And it has to be available. It can't be that, I've got a Kickstarter. I don't get so many now, but I had people who were like, I've got a Kickstarter coming up. I want you guys to talk about it on Comic Book Spectrum. And nope, that's not what it's for. It's not for Kickstarter campaigns. There are other shows that do that so much better. Ours is for comics, and we are predominantly indie comics on there. But I've reviewed things like I said, Deadbox and from Vault, The Blue Flame from Vault, Scout Comics, Impossible Jones, and in fact, I would say DC and Marvel get the short end of the stick as far as reviewing love. So definitely check us out. We got all kinds of cool things I think you would enjoy. But yeah, and I have to say, like I said, Scout Comics. Up until Impossible Jones, I have been incredibly unimpressed with what they're putting out. A lot of it is no different. I don't mind slagging them. And this is true of all companies, really. But a lot of it just looks like the same stuff that's coming out from everybody else. And some of it is better made than others. We'll put it that way. But anyway, so, no, I look forward to hearing about that. I'm always looking forward to a new, interesting book. And Molly Daniel says, I'll share my good news. Got the proof of my upcoming children's book, Rex the Piddling Pup, that my dad wrote. It looks great, and I've already had 3 people tell me they want a copy. We'll make that 4. I want one too. Oh, Molly, that is exciting because they're, writing kids' books is hard. I would think about it, but I think of all the challenges, and it's like, I'm afraid I would probably come up with something like Dick and Jane and 1 cup. So, gotta keep me out of the field. And the Eric Hawkins is with us all. Good morning, Pro Slayer. How you doing? Good morning to you, my friend. And loving what you've been doing in your spare time. Hint, hint. And the Eric Hawkins has entered the room. Yes, all hail the Pro Slayer, Eric Pornsack Hawkins. And Molly Daniels, yay, Michaela, way to go. And is it normal to not breathe good with Rona? My chest is hurting. Yes, it's like a flu or a cold. But there are possible other effects that could come from it. Definitely keep yourself hydrated, Jake, and take like vitamin C, vitamin D. Make sure you are eating well, whether you feel like it or not. And just take care of yourself, Jake. Right, honey?
Well, if you don't feel like eating, well, drink soup.
Drink soup. That's good too. Chicken soup.
Something with a lot of garlic.
Yes, and it keeps the vampires away.
Yes.
Yes, unless you like vampires. And Carl the Bot Slayer. That's right. That's our new comic, Eric. We're going to make Carl the Bot Slayer. Eric Radley says, go and check out my Amazon author page at that address there, B. Radley. There you can grab copies of Nightmare Collective, Marvin's Night Out, the award-winning Pulp Reality #1, which I am in, and the Tales of the Weird and Strange. And he continues R&D Gaming. The show where we talk about gaming from the point of view of an old school gamer and the view of a younger gamer and see how those views differ, or they might be similar. Come join author Rick Radley and his son Donovan as they discuss gaming throughout the years. Come ask any and all questions about the topic, and let's have some fun exploring the huge world of gaming. Coming soon to the Rising Tide Network. Yeah, yes, indeed it is. And Mike Jimmy Lurch de Bruin says, to anyone looking to get some extra looks on their crowdfunders or website, please look for my name on Facebook and send me a DM. I'm adding a Friends of Fairies and Ints on Life on Korra 5's campaign. Oh, beautiful. And Carl Winston, running an Ethernet cable to the basement. I have this big drill bit. Yeah, I've got one too. We're trying not to do that, right, honey?
Well, we've got so many other cables running through the house, I'd really rather not have that many more.
That's true, yeah.
Actually, we've got ones that are just running along the edges. I'd rather not do that either. I want magic.
I want sorcery, yes.
Yeah.
I think you can get like signal amplifiers. I've seen them work on YouTube, and it's like, whereas you go from like a download upload speed, like say in the teens, to like in triple digits.
Well, we know the house has cable.
Yeah.
And that's where we got that. So there's maybe cable down on the main floor.
I have not seen. Well, I'm looking at the basement.
Right, but if we get it to the main floor, then it's much closer.
We do have it on the main floor because there's an outlet, at least one outlet in the living room.
Right.
That's true.
I mean, and that's what, good 10 feet closer to the basement.
Well, that's true. That's true. But I don't know if we. Well, also part of the wiring. Well, no, we've taken out the wiring from the stairway.
But that was phone.
That was phone, but this comes through the phone lines.
No,
Yeah.
I don't think so. It's that X company.
Oh, yeah, that one. Yeah, that one. Xfinity.
Yeah.
I don't mind saying nice things about them.
Yeah, but that's cable.
That's
not through the phone.
It should be the phone. Phone
It
is
was
better.
The phone, and then it sucked. Remember?
Well, that's true. That's true. Well, anyway, we'll buy a single amplifier. Anyway, this ends the debate, and there's no more holes drilled in our lovely home. How's that?
Yeah, we just want to. We're pounding holes instead of drilling.
That's true. That'll work. And Brian, you're a dragon, and that mess is really your hoard. You draw strength from it. There we go. Rick Bradley's got me figured out here. This is the dragon's lair.
Although dragons like to roll around like like a Scrooge McDuck.
You don't know what I do when you're at work.
I know.
Yes, you do.
I want to be here to witness it. I want to know.
And And from That's What Small Press Publisher, I need to watch that episode, Damien. Yeah, definitely. And oh, well, my goodness, says Brian Rodman. This year is bringing some amazing things out of the art of Brian Rodman. Finishing on Memoirs of an Angel #8, my first short story for Stormgate Press, The Midnight Mason and the Curse of the Black Knights. Doesn't that sound good?
Yeah.
For the new Pulp magazine, Pulp Reality #4, I'm also gearing up for the Nebulizer #2 coming this spring to Kickstarter. So all of you people keep nagging Brian that he needs more Nebulizer out. And that's just the first half of the year, folks. Head to brianrodman.com and sign up to get in on the shenanigans. And Mike Jimmy Lotion de Bruin says, on helping people, I've lectured a new comic writer on a script last weekend and kind of put him in his place, but in a good way. He really took it to heart. That is good. You know, and when you get somebody who can take criticism well, who will at least consider it. You know, I tell people, you don't have to take my suggestions, but at least consider them. And I've gotten people who, oh, but I want to do this, but I want to do you. If your sentence begins, I don't want to hear your butt in your sentence.
I don't want to see a butt either.
It depends on whose it is.
I want to see yours.
I want to see yours.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Anyway, so goodbye, everyone. Anyway, but no, I've had people like push back at criticism, and I'm like, I'm not interested in that. You asked for my opinion, you gotta deal with it. That's where Dr. Tough Love comes in, right?
Well, especially since they don't have a good reason other than I wanna.
Yeah. But it's like I've got 25 years, nearing 30 years of experience now. Or 25 years, call it 25 years of professional experience.
Yeah.
I count when getting the first play, my professional.
Yeah.
I was paid in pizza, but what the hell, I'll take it. It works, damn it. But anyway, but yeah, and I recently did an edit job for Prose Press, and it was funny because the publisher went through someone's manuscript, and the writer was like, "Oh my God, this is harsh. Oh my God, I can't believe that I have." I can't have that many problems with my manuscript. And then he gave it to me, and I did the same thing. With my criticisms, I turned a 35,000 word manuscript into 55,000. And but the first thing the writer did was he contacted the publisher, said, "Is this you under a pseudonym?" And he's like, "No, that's a completely different person." And the writer said, well, then maybe I need to pay attention to that. If two people came up with that. And I'm working with the guy. Because I told him, I said, I'm sending you, here are my edits. And as of this moment, we are not, I am not your, I'm not just your editor. I'm your partner in this thing. You've got a decent adventure story in here. I'm, in fact, a potential for a series. I'm going to help you within the best of my ability to make this as good a manuscript as possible. And we're going to be passing it back and forth more than once. Because as you add things, I will find things that need to be fixed. And he's like, I heard from him like a month ago, and he said, I'm learning so much from this. Thank you for taking the time. And that was a 3-week edit on that one too. But anyway, and then I heard from him a few days ago. Up till now, I've been asking him, well, how's it going? How are you doing? Checking in on him and on his manuscript. And then this last week, he contacted me. And he said, Brian, I need to give you a progress report. And I think within the next week or two, I'm going to get it back. And I'm looking forward to seeing that. See what he has learned, what he has picked up. Because he's got a good story, and he's got a lot of enthusiasm, and he's got the right attitude. So that's reaching back. Anyway, Nick. Mike Jimmy, I'm glad you got that experience. That is good, and thank you for sharing your wisdom with someone else. Nick Tucker saying, I am not saying I am excellent. BKM, love you, but hard truth time. What you get in as ad revenue from a single source is more than my projects often make annually. You are heroic and prosperous. I'm not as prosperous as I want to be because Cookie has to report for work today. You know that, Nick. So, and it's all relative anyway. But anyway, thank you, my friend. And I see you catching up soon, and maybe even passing me up. We'll make it happen. We gotta work on it, and we gotta get that. We gotta have We gotta have FezCon. We gotta coordinate with Amanda. I have holes in my schedule right now that I think have an Amanda and Nick size hole in them. You know what I'm saying? And good news, after Jennifer being fired last week, well, for BS, she started a new job today. Eric, that's great. Oh my God, that's so good to hear. I'll send me more information in our chat, okay? And Nick Tuckerty gets paid for ad revenue, and I play his ads for free. Well, I play yours too, Pops. People pay to be on the show, We do have advertising opportunities. Pops, if you want to put your, unless I have a weak moment, which I have had, yeah, and I play your ads for free too, dude. So don't be giving me that, brother. Anyway, Nick Tucker, so humility is admitted, but don't let that mutate to lack of perspective on your success. The dream isn't arriving there. The dream is actually being able to successfully walk that path. The Rakshasha. Okay, and yes, from Kolchak, but we'll get back to that. No, I am aware that I have accomplished things. Hell, I accomplished something mighty when I put out Bloodshot the Coldest Warrior, and I'm going to figure it out, because I told you I recently read J. Michael Straczynski's autobiography, Becoming Superman, which is an excellent book. See if Amanda can get that, and you need to read that. It is the first 120 pages are very uncomfortable to read, because Straczynski, who is now, he's made incredible successes in television, prose, comic books. He wrote the screenplay to the first Thor movie with Kenneth Branagh, of all people, right, directing. And he also created Babylon 5, Sense8, other great things, worked on Masters of the Universe back in the 80s. Has written some classic episodes of The Amazing Spider-Man and the 12 and Midnight Nations and things like that. And he came from less than nothing, because his dad was the best way to describe him would be a crook and a grifter. Straczynski moved like 21 times in his first. By the time he was 18, he moved 21 times in 18 years. That was it. That's a little bit different. But anyway, I think it's good to be humble. It's not imposter syndrome at all, because mine's handleable. Mine's, thanks to Carl Witzman and you, it's very handleable. But I am aware, but I also don't want anyone to think I'm all that. The person who should think it the least is me. So anyway, Comics Talk Coach Bob Sand agrees with me. That is good news for Eric Hawkins. And yes, the Rakshasha episode Kolchak is an incredible thesis on urban fantasy with hidden magic monsters. Yes, and that's the role. Darren McGavin's he had done a great body of work as an actor. And to me, this was his crowning achievement. It really was. So, and Pops, those awesome commercials Brian runs are worth every cent. I have no hesitation to say BKM is the single most influential person on my life's direction that I have met since college. Well, thank you, Nick. And don't think that inspiration doesn't go both ways, man. I see what you do, and I'm like, man, I can never do that. He is so good at that. But nothing says I can't try. But anyway, I love you, Nick. I really do, brother. And I love you too, William Bove. Thank you, Brian, very much indeed. You are very welcome. You earned it, my friend. And that's what they all say. I ended up on this website. I don't know how, but Scar was no. When I first got internet access through it was a service provided by the University of Illinois. At first, it was a dial-up thing. You could only get on for 30 minutes every day. Okay, at first, so you had to be frugal about your searches. But this was before it would have been Yahoo back then. Google wasn't really quite the thing back then, but it was Yahoo, and I was one of the Yahoos on there. And it invariably wound up that I would do a search, and like 3 or 4 clicks down the rabbit hole later, I wound up on a porn site that you can't find now with a normal browser. You have to get like the Onion router or something like that, which I've promised Cookie I will never get. Or at least if I do, I'm not going to put it on one of my main machines. I've got so many laptops now. Anyway, but no. This is back in the day, and there was a thing back even 10 years ago. This was a hazard. Some people were front loading their search engine optimization to where if I wanted to look up violet paper napkins, I would wind up on a porn site. Okay. Or if I, search for how do I publish on Amazon, I'd wind up on one of these sites. Because they would have like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of search arguments. By the way, people, just learned something recently. A lot of the search engines, the more search in the SEOs you have, after a certain point, it kind of dings you for having them to prevent you from top loading it. Okay, so I have cut back on my SEOs and just kept the ones that are more effective. In fact, if you do a Wednesday one, put in Hump Day Fun. Good results. Anyway, but yeah, that's the way it was before they started taking the website started making it harder to get to these places that are now on the dark web. They're what you see in your normal search arguments on like Google, Bing, or Yahoo is like 5% of what's really out there. And the really icky stuff is in what's called the dark web. And that's the stuff you need a special router to get to that y'all shouldn't look into. It is ugly. You don't need it in your life. And I will make it big. BKM will be getting a hookup of some sort, but right now my goals are very small, simple, and manageable. And that's the way they should be. They should, they always say that your reach should just exceed your grasp. And the stuff I've got planned for this year, I've never done this much before. And even if I get half of it accomplished, I'll be light years ahead of where I am right now. Part of it is working for other people. Part of it is working now for myself again. And we're going to come up together, Nick. We're, what we got, man, it's not going away, and we're going to pull the other one up. You got that? And Carl Westman, so that is where the Russian bots come from, says Mike Jimmy. Could be. And William Quinton, good morning to you. Reign of Ages is now 112 backers. You should be happy, brother. I just ordered proof copies from the printer, and we're on track to fulfill next month. Just need to get the other half of funding. That's great, man. Seriously, put in a link. And dude, that's awesome. Keep it up, man. Seriously, that's good news, William. That's the sort of thing that inspires me and inspires us all, man, because I love 487 Furious Tales. I missed the last campaign, I'm sorry to say, but you're on my list for this one. And congrats, Will. Seriously, that is an accomplishment, William. You'll make it, man. You're going to do this thing. And that's sweet. Cookie protected her favorite minion. I like stories like that. Yes. Yes, sometimes she is kind to cruel, dumb animals, and I happen to be one of them. Yes, she about spun that guy's head around. It was glorious. And of course, I'm down there in mortal agony laughing at his pain. Molly Daniels, I discovered my 9-year-old granddaughter likes graphic novels. Great. Any suggestions? She says she likes to read realistic fiction like she sees in books. The one she has is Amulet. Wow. That's a good question for a 9-year-old. And I'm going to assume she has advanced reading skills. So I wouldn't recommend anything like Watchmen to her. But there are some things, take her to a comic book shop. I'm told you have a very good one in downtown Vincennes. And see what there is out there that she might be interested in. I mean, there's stuff like My Little Pony, which is kind of stereotypical young person fare. But if she's looking for young reader stuff, I know that last year, or around Free Comic Book Day, there was a series of graphic novels about historical figures like Rosa Parks. That might be interesting to her. I like the preview I read. And of course, there's fun things. Well, it's not true. Anything from a team called Franco and Art Balthazar is just so much fun, and you would like it too, because there's a little bit of adult humor in there, but it flies over the heads of kids. It's kind of meta. It's really fun. Let me think about that, Molly. Keep on me. Because I know there's stuff out there. And Molly goes, behold, the hand of Cookie. That's right. Seizing the coffee and hopefully making more. And happy Wednesday, Cindy, Captain Moi, CKOEPP.com. Love your latest newsletter. And paranoia is another word for longevity, Laurel K. Hamilton. Definitely. Yeah, and we were commenting to buy time until you got here, Cookie. Okay. And Molly Daniels, check out Dogman. Yeah, good idea. William Quinton, excellent suggestion. And of course there's some manga that are reality based. And she might enjoy that. She'll have to get used to like reading from right to left, but it's not a horrible skill to have. Anything that helps you read. But no, yeah, Dogman's a good choice. There are some good things out there. Also, DC has done a line of young reader graphic novels featuring more realistic versions of some of their mainstream characters like Superman, Batman, the Teen Titans. There's a bunch of Teen Titans stories that are just really, really good. I've enjoyed a lot of them. So anyway, Cindy Kemp says, sometimes I talk to myself to get an expert opinion. Oh, I'm with you. And do you hear the sound? Oh, thank you, sweetheart. Thank you. And once I finish this, we'll do our running around, okay?
Right.
Oh, we have things to accomplish today. But yeah, I understand. When I talk to you, I want an expert opinion too. Oh, she doctored this.
I did.
You did good. It's yummy.
Thank you.
Pumpkin spice. Yeah, we probably in a couple weeks we'll need to get some more pumpkin spice. I made some more of the sugar compound.
Okay, good.
Last night. Yeah, as I said before on the show, if you like pumpkin spice, don't wait till October. Go to your store and get pumpkin spice. And what you do is you take just a little bit and mix it in with your coffee grounds. Because if you leave it if you leave it together like a spoonful and then dump your water in, it turns to concrete. And it'll probably overflow your coffee maker. So stir it up generously and then run the water through it and it pulls the flavor. And you've got not just a transparent coffee cup. You've got some delicious pumpkin spice all year round. And we used to make our own cinnamon sugar. And what you do is you replace the cinnamon with pumpkin spice. And that's good on buttered toast. Anyway, Molly Dale says, Mike, Jimmy, Lordship de Bruin. I don't know if they have it in English. Pretty sure they do. But Days of Sand by Émilie de Jong, a beautiful graphic novel about the Dust Bowl in the 30s. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And I'm thinking Road to Perdition is probably a little old for her. Maybe a few more years. But that's kind of based on like Depression era crime stuff. I'm assuming she likes that. But yeah, there's got to be some stuff. Go to Barnes and Noble. Maybe next time you're up here, we'll go to Barnes and Noble together. And thank you, Molly. And ignore that. That's my phone. Anyway, Cindy Cope, a Superman. Well, thank you, sweetheart. And RPGs have affected my writing. She writes game lit. So yeah, there we go. In fact, check out Animal Eye, her book from bearpublications.com. Also, check out the comic book. She is fantastic. It's a great story. And man, that's super. That's my stuff on Amazon. Thank you, Cindy. And William Quinton, who wrote Dogman. I know you can pick them up in Walmart. I have seen them there. And Stomping Robots Have Small Arms Are the Thing. Check out Nick Tuckert. Also check out the Historical Fencing Guild on Friday evenings for some fun conversation on how to murder each other safely. And Molly Daniels, Dav Pilkey is the author of The Dogman. Thank you, William. Appreciate the help there. And from Deso Small Press Publisher, Brian, you and I are in the same boat. I could talk about Wonder Woman all day, but then again, I do offer the Out of Mystery book. You have to be brave to see what caught my attention. Well, you and I are, I look forward to your opinions, and Joe's going to be on Comic Book Spectrum a lot more these days, because I do love having him there. But that's the thing. It's like there's a lot of good stuff coming out in the supernatural field right now, as far as comics go. And yeah, you can talk, and I know that Brian can talk Hellboy all day long. So we all have things that really capture our hearts. And Superman is mine. It's the first comic book I can recall reading, not just looking at the pictures as a 2-year-old, but reading as a 3-year-old. And, when I, you think about great actors, I think of course, George Reeves and Christopher Reeve and, Superman's a source of inspiration, and Superman's another case where, he can, like, as writer Denny O'Neil used to say, he could put out a sun by just listening hard. And and here's a guy who has the literally, compared to us, the powers of a god, and he wants to rescue kittens from trees. He wants to grab a balloon that a child has let go. He takes care of the small things too, and he helps people and he inspires people. That ain't a bad thing. And you're welcome, Molly. And Nick Tucker, but Brian, Hellboy is actually interesting with new content and an actual sense of stakes. I love Soups and what he stands for, but just like Spidey always loses in his personal life, Soups always wins. Not necessarily, Nick. The last few years, he's been... well, see, he didn't get to see his son grow up because his grandfather took him away. He's had, like before Flashpoint, he and Lois had some rocky points in their marriage, which had me concerned. He doesn't always win. At least he doesn't win as much as he'd like. He's not as one step forward, two steps back as Peter Parker is. But I think it's just the idea that at the end of the day, it's like he gets all these accolades for what he does, and yet he's at heart this farm boy from Kansas. And by the way, I recommended Christopher Reeve. Definitely, if you can, you're probably close enough to get the trade paperback in a couple of months. But check out Superman 78 from DC Comics. They are doing a superlative job of capturing the spirit of the original Christopher Reeve movies, the good parts. Let's just say Mr. Reeve was let down by his writing every now and then. But really good stuff, terrific art, and they're a joy to read. And they brought in Brainiac for this one. Plus, all the characters act like the actors would have in the series. I mean, I'm hearing Gene Hackman in my head. I'm hearing the late Margot Kidder. I'm hearing Christopher Reeve and Jackie Cooper and all these great actors. So definitely recommend it. And it's a magical time for the Night Ride. Check out johnpica.com. Check out John B. Pica on Amazon. And check out Back of the Cereal Box every day of the week. Great content on YouTube. And the Nasty Dingoes podcast strikes heroic poses that they do. And again, check out last night's episode, part 1 on creativity. Great show. Loved it. You guys did a super job last night. And Nerd Culture from Ryan Permison. Definitely all the nerdy content you can handle and then some. Plus, the Clark disguise is usually written borderline insulting to normal humanity from the perspective of him playing weak and befuddled, says Nick Tucker. I agree with you there. That is the one aspect of Christopher Reeve's portrayal of Clark. I loved his Superman. Wasn't as big a fan of his Clark Kent, however. I liked Dean Cain. And he summed it up in one sentence on one episode. Superman is what I do. Clark Kent is who I am. If that doesn't put I think if a writer keeps that in mind, Superman is easy to write for then. Like I said, he's got the powers of a god and the heart of a kid from Kansas who one day discovered that when he goes up, he doesn't have to come down again. And he wants everyone to fly with him. But I agree with you there. Now, the best portrayal was George Reeves, in my opinion. I mean, there are some episodes where there's not that much difference between Superman and Clark Kent, but Clark was feisty. Clark didn't put up with stuff. He didn't oh no, don't hurt me sort of thing. He was a crusading reporter for a great metropolitan newspaper, and I loved his portrayal of Clark Kent. So yeah, I would totally agree with you, Nick. I do agree with you. And Amazon's from the desk of the small press publisher. Joe D. McPhee loves his Wonder Woman, and I don't blame him. And to listen to Joe, I understand why. It makes me want to catch up with Wonder Woman again. And a Marvel, that's Amy Hale. She is. Check out her latest book, Neuroses. She's working on a new book right now, and she's fantastic. And congratulations to Amy for surviving the first 2 days of employment. So, and Nick Tockert, I am saying I play Brian's ads on my show. Should I be charging? Pops, here's what I do. It's up to each of us. I have charged for mine, but sometimes I will also trade. I will do trades, but but I'm proud to run yours, Pops. I run it just about every episode at the end. And if I'm free next week, more like voices up to it. Comic Book Spectrum will introduce to the second character I can talk about all day long, since the number 1 is coming out next week. Ooh, there's a good tease. Thank you, Jodie McPhee. And a wonder, that's Michaela Jade, the Warriors trilogy. Check it out. She's working on number 4. It's going to be awesome. Also, check out her show Monday night on her channel, author Michaela Jade. Where some of us got on there to talk about if you're having creativity problems. We had a good panel on how to maybe get through it. So Nick Tucker said, love the Boy Scout, but Clark and Bruce's masks of mundanity, while meant to throw off the scent, also feel like, is that what you think normal people are like? Well, Bruce I can understand, because Bruce isn't pretending to be normal. He's a billionaire now, playboy. And and one thing it was telling, there was a great story by Greg Rucka a few years ago. It was, I want to say it was either New 52, or I think it was Rebirth, I think, where Batman and Superman are checking out the new kid on the block, this Wonder Woman that's popped up. And at one point, she puts the lasso of truth around each of them. And she goes, if you want me to trust you, tell me who you really are. And Superman just looks at her and without hesitation says, I am Clark Kent. But I was born Kal-El of the planet Krypton. And this turns to Batman and says, well, who are you? He goes, Batman. And Superman's like, wait a minute. You just said who are you in real life? He goes, Batman. I thought, wow, that's genius. And no BKM deserves a free ride. No BKM deserves a free ride. Charge him for it. No, and that's enough out of you. It's like, well, Pops ads used to run on this show, but no, I run his ads and I run Joe's, and I, because that's what ad sharing is about. And I appreciate it. And I hope we can get you a few people too, Pops. Cindy Cap says spammers are going after QuadCon to con folks into giving the spammers money by pretending to be the source of all QuadCon info. What? What in the hell? The only source for the righteous info on QuadCon is John Wells at vintagetorque@gmail.com. I got to write that down because I do want to write him. Because apparently I didn't get his emails when I inquired last time. So, yeah, I got to talk to John. And I want to sit up next to you, if you don't mind. And she's like, oh, my God, what have I done? Let's see. Vintage Torque. That's a cool name. VintageTorque@gmail.com. But that is low. That is low indeed. Man. Well, of course, that's also... tell John that's a sign that people are paying attention to him and they're jealous. They really are. But thank you for that information, Cindy. I appreciate that. But that's crazy. That is totally crazy. And, Pops. And Davenport Comic and Toy Show, February 19th through the 20th. Free event, North Park Mall. I won't be there, but lots of cool people will be. Well, it's diminished by your absence, dear Cindy. So definitely check that out. Eric Hawkins says, signal amplifiers only work on YouTube. You can try a Wi-Fi. That's what I was trying to think of. Wi-Fi extender that extends the range of your Wi-Fi. I have found them iffy, but others I know have had luck with them. I saw a couple that I don't remember. I wrote it down somewhere. It's probably on the desk here somewhere. But yeah, I want a signal extender. That's what I need. Please remind me later. And yes, more nebulizer. Yeah, that was one of the best comics out last year. It and Zombie for World of Oz #3. Oh my God, there was so much good content last year. And Des Moines Comic Toy and Toy Show February 12th. QuadCon invades Merlehay Mall. This one Cindy Kemp gets to be at, joining the shenanigans where you can get dragons and books from this wonderful lady. And check out their agenda at quadcitycon.com. Accept no substitutes. And the Historical Fencing Guild Friday at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern on YouTube. Always a great, great show with Nicholas Tucker. And Comic Related Madness. Drop by early, often, and frequently. Check out that great show. And check out CromCon at the end of every month. And I'm not charging him for this, Pops. Definitely check out his Kickstarter campaign, all right? Pops, go on Facebook and put in a link, all right, so we can get some eyeballs on that thing when it launches. Mike Jimmy Lorsha DeBruin says, yes, exactly. You want to get better or what? I've got the artist perspective, worked with 5 writers by now. Stop whining and accept I know my stuff. Yes, definitely. You know, that's the thing. Mike Jimmy, it's like you get people that say, well, would you read this? Well, what do you know about it anyway? It's like, well, then why did you ask me? You know, if you didn't want to hear my opinion, you know, I've said for years, if you don't want the answer, don't ask the question. And you ask for my opinion, deal with it. I'll go ahead and send Defending Your Life to my editor, pulls it out of a drawer and blows off the dust. That's Molly Daniels. That I probably could have done. I got a lecture the other night about my first book, which I destroyed. I destroyed the manuscript because, like I tell people, I'd rather, you know, if it's a choice between this going public and viral, potentially viral, and a sex tape with me and a barnyard animal, I would rather have the sex tape because it would be far less damaging to my career. It was that bad. There was not one salvageable idea from this thing, and I knew it even then. But it taught me I could write a book. Now, it took me a few decades to actually get around to doing it, to figure out everything else I needed to do. But here I am. And one of these days, I will tell Brian Rahman what he did in Nebulizer number 1 that makes people ask him, when is Nebulizer number 2? So where is it, Brian Rahman? You're behind schedule, says Joe D. McPhee. That's right. That's right. Well, he's been doing that other book of his, that Memoirs of an Angel. And just because I'm younger than I look doesn't mean there's no info in that dome of mine. Mike, Jimmy, I'd agree with you completely, man. You know, and like I say, you know, you're working on what, number 6 right now? I think it is, of Life on Quora, and you've got your own publishing company. How many people don't even get out of the starter gate? You know, it's like I have this idea that, you know, for every, you know, whatever level there is, there's 100 other people that want to be doing it. So like everyone that comes up with an idea, there's 100 other. Well, I know there's more than 100, but there's 100 people that wish they had an idea to work with. And then you go ahead and plot it. And for every person that gets, you know, to that point where they have plotted something, you know, even just create an elevator pitch, there's 100 people that wish they had that skill or taken the time to do it. And so you see like this, it's not a Venn diagram, but it's more like a reverse pyramid. And at the very bottom is you that published something and is promoting and getting it out there and making sales. And then for every 10 above you, there are people who wish they were promoting or wish they could sell a copy of their book, but don't know how and don't know where to look for the information, you know. And it's like, you know, again, it cascades out like that. So unless it's somebody, my phone is ringing in the other room. Who is?
No. Oh, no.
217?
919.
I don't even know where 919 is. Hold on a second. Pausing the show here. I'm going to go to Google. Okay, 919.
Probably car warranty again.
Yeah, it usually is.
As if they would warranty our cars.
Not mine. Yeah, I've got this is Raleigh, North Carolina.
Well,
I know some people in North Carolina, but I don't think any of them.
if they had your number, you would have theirs.
More than likely, yeah. And most of my friends are in South Carolina, like Roy and Jim.
Yep.
And John.
Yeah.
So I think most of mine are South Carolinas.
Yeah, it was just a nothing call.
Okay, fair enough.
Because we did nothing with it.
That's right. We just wasted their time. Anyway, yeah, definitely. Yeah, Brian Rahman is producing some great work, and go to brianrahman.com to see more of it. And yeah, Mike, Jimmy, or Lorsha DeBruin, exactly. And then why did they go to you in the first place if they weren't looking to tap into your mojo, right? So if they if they don't receive if they don't receive it with gratitude, then you can save your time and not do any more for them, because rising tide is one thing, but basically, working for the ungrateful is quite another. And moving along better every day, Luke Stone Studios. Have you been watching his updates? OMG. I think Luke is now standing up unassisted. And he's made some real major strides, as has Randy Zimmerman. So, very proud of those guys and looking forward to seeing them back in the saddle again soon. Bear Publications got the initial news from a gaming company, Clopas, of the Animal Eye game. More to be done, but cool info so far. Oh, check them out at bearpublications.com. Cindy, I got to be grilling you about this. I want to hear the progress on this. This is exciting. And Eric Hawkins says, I'm worried about launching on Kickstarter again. I was browsing yesterday, and it looked like the only comics funded are ones with porn and tons of nude covers. Well, the thing is, though, you build up quite an audience, and you've built up a following. I think, you don't have to pander to the lowest common denominator. People like what you do, and they like you. So, I'll help. I will. And Eric Hawkins is 2 weeks after the holidays. People are broke and only have hoarding money right now. That's right. Don't worry and don't let it keep you down. Those people ain't your people. That's true. Hey, Mike Jimmy nailed it right there. There's some wisdom there. Take a screen capture, Eric, and remind yourself of it. And you both have built up audiences, and your audiences are growing. They know that you guys do good work, and there's always going to be people that appeal to the lowest common denominator. And the thing is, like with a lot of addictions, this is one of those things. It's like a drug, in that you always want a stronger hit the next time. And there's going to reach a point where these guys are just not, the porn people are just not going to be able to keep up. Or if they keep using characters that are, like I've seen some, I don't know if they're still doing it, but there was one guy he was making serious coin, where he would say, well, I will have your favorite comic book characters having sex with each other. That guy is just like, they're going to skip the cease and desist letter. They're going to go straight to lawsuit. And I've seen it happen. I remember somebody, not just the Air Pirates case from the 60s with Disney, but I've seen other people do pornographic versions of mainstream books, and they went straight to court and didn't win. Cindy Caps, it's time to go back to editing bank procedures. That's almost as fun as it sounds. How could it be? I'll catch up with you all later. Don't forget to tip your host. Thank you. Bring Cookie home. Thank you again, darling. And go to patreon.com/CKOEPP.com for advanced looks at her new book, Freelance Words. Then go get terrors from patreon.com, Brian K. Morris. Thank you so much, Cindy. And definitely go to CKOEPP.com. Check out her free monthly newsletter. It is a great read. It really is. She put so much wonderful work into it. And you got to check it out. I love you, Cindy. Mwah. Hope you have an excellent day. Nick Tockert says, seriously, BK, I'm seriously message Madam Library Amanda Tockert about FezCon. A local mini-con would be a great motivator to recalibrate my booth. Well, we talked about when we had dinner a little. I think we just need to just go ahead and schedule the darn thing for some Saturday. And like I said, I've got a lot of holes in my schedule right now. So if you think of it tonight, talk to Amanda. Let's start the conversation. And love you, Brian. I love you too, Pops. You know that. Even if you started charging me, I would keep running your ads for free because I'm nicer than you. And even you C21 promo is in your Facebook inbox. Oh, okay, cool. Thank you. I will check that out. And love you too, Brian. You rock the house indeed. Brother, you do as well. We got to get more eyeballs in front of your work, though. So anyway, and when we start doing clever title pending, again, a bunch of you are going to get a tap on the shoulder saying, can you help? And Nick Tucker says, my gig is to buoy the stumbling, and folks forget to check up on the visibly strong and cheerful. You are too important to risk as a hinge pin personality. Thank you, Nick. Thank you very much. And that's the point of being in a network or networking. You never know who will be a positive influence on you and who you are positively influencing. I say that a lot, Jody McPhee. And thank you, Nick Tucker. That comes from the heart, brother. But yeah, Joe, we may never know who we're talking off the ledge. It's like I have a letter from I don't think he'd mind me saying this, but Joe Dog McKeel, when he made me the guest of honor at last year's HalloCon, he wrote all the guests a personal letter. And he wrote one to me. I couldn't keep reading it. I had to take it back to the motel room because I was like getting verklempt reading it about how, and I got this a lot. It's like at the time I didn't realize it, but when I was during the start of the lockdown in 2020, I was broadcasting every day for 2.5 months, and I never realized until later how many people didn't just want that, they needed it. And how many people got strength out of it. And I finally had to quit because it was wearing me down. I couldn't keep going on it. But I have absolutely no regrets about doing it. And I had a feeling that I was helping people. If nothing else, I was a distraction for 2 hours a day. And but to see how I was actually affecting people in a positive way, that's the sort of thing that you got to keep. It's tough not to keep in mind. It's tough not to think about and to try to live up to it. And I don't do it for my own ego. God knows people that know me know I have less ego than I present. So anyway, thank you guys. Thank you. You never know who you're influencing. And honestly, I try to let you guys know, and Joe, you influenced me. I downloaded that program. I'm having trouble getting it launched in this computer here, but I have picked it up, and I do intend to see what use I can make of it. It's fascinating, though. I love it. I'm going through the tutorials slowly. But anyway, thank you, Nick Tockert and Jody McPhee and Donna Carly. Mwah, remember Pornados? So fun. Yes. Oh my God, yeah, it's almost as fun as Sharknadoes. And for this overexposure, due to people here, I may actually come out of my collaboration shyness. Take it from me, once you get burned badly by collaborations, you completely stop it. It is hard to accept anything afterwards. Oh, I know. And it used to be that I would like send out work and they'd say, okay, thanks. Never hear that they put it out, and 100% of the time they don't. Or you just don't hear back from them. They ghost you or something. And this year I'm taking some of it back. I've got one work I sent to somebody about 5 years ago. Never heard back from them after thank you. And I figure, well, not seeing them publish anything. So it's mine again. I'm going to expand on it. I'm a better writer than I was 5 years ago. So I'm going to redo it. Here's the thing. We are going to be, several years ago, we released a book called Conflict, a study in heroic contrast. And we had some characters in there that we introduced that were kind of like, they were like archetypical characters, like there is the Superman archetype. There's the Wonder Woman archetype that is imitatable, but how you customize it makes it different and interesting. And I found that I had some characters, I had more stories to tell. So I am going to soon tell, one story I've taken back. I didn't even bother to tell the editor. In fact, I've done that with 2 stories. I've taken them back. And if they can't talk to me, I'm not talking to them. Screw them. So I'm going to get them published. And I'm going to do it in the archetypical series. I have one for... If you've read Conflict, I've got a story featuring the hero, the alien, and I've also got a time traveler that I wrote a story for that I'm going to take back. And what is the other one? And then I've got a story that I'm going to work towards a horror anthology. And yes, some of you may get a tap on the shoulder for that. Not right away, though. for a horror anthology I've had planned for a couple of years. But we got to get some other things off the desk first. But yeah, it's tough to get into the collaboration thing when you get burned by somebody. But I've had some good collabs with some people. I'm looking forward to what I've got going with Damien Waldron. I'm reworking something that I offered to Luke Stone a couple of years ago. Because he had a concept, and I'm like, I'm not giving it the love it needs. And so I'm rewriting the script I submitted to the former Terraform Comics, excuse me. So but yeah. Joe, I'd team up with you in a heartbeat. I'll write, you draw. Because the other way would court disaster, and it wouldn't because you're a bad writer. You're a great writer. I'm a crappy artist. Anyway, Molly, my son is a huge fan of the Amulet. Barnes & Noble has all of the issues, says Rick Bradley. And Molly says, our comic shop... Oh, your comic shop closed in 2020? I'm told there are 2 more, but not sure where they are. I'll have to reach out to the community. I know Evansville has at least 2. I couldn't tell you where one of them is. I couldn't tell you how to drive there. If I were driving, I could navigate you, but I'd have to be there. But there was one that's in a shopping complex that was really, really nice. And then there was another one that had a lot of back issues that was okay. But yeah, closest ones to you. And I think there's one in Terre Haute as well. But I'm not sure where that one is. Candace Comalieri would know if it's still going. And I think you know her. But yeah, there were 2 in Evansville last I saw. I'm trying to think who else is close to you. Otherwise, I would think the closest ones might be Marion, which I don't recommend. And then there's one in Carbondale I would recommend. Castle Perilous. And it's right on the main street, so it's easy to get to. And there's parking nearby. And Murfreesboro has one, but again, we're getting farther away from you. And then, of course, we've got 1, 2, 3 here in this area. Dragon's Table, I think it is, on the south side of town, by that weird 4-way stop on 4th Street. Then, of course, there's Blue Moon Comics where I get my stuff. And I'll take a look, see if I can find any recommendations for you, Molly. And then there's, of course, Vaughn's in Campus Town. So we got options, Molly. And Mike Jimmy Lorshon de Bruin says, from this small press publisher, I feel you on that one. I only take on small things or ones with reliable people with a track record. As a pro, you can't afford to lose the time. That is true. And League of Extraordinary Gentlemen is the first I can think of, Molly says, from Decimal Small Press Publisher. That's a good suggestion. The early ones. I wouldn't recommend the later ones to a young person. That has a lot of literary characters and authors like Mary Shelley. Captain Nemo is more teen YA, and it depends on how advanced she is. Seriously. Yeah. I wouldn't recommend the later ones, though. They are very adult. I'm trying to think of what else. There's stuff out there. And occasionally you get stuff from some of the Doctor Who stories also had historical characters in there, because that's part of what makes Doctor Who special. Nick Hocker says, I'm excited to see what you were talking about with soups. Yeah, we're going to make some stuff happen. And Molly Dana says, thanks, Joe. Wrote everyone's suggestions down, and we'll either have to bring her to another con and or find our comic store. Maybe her mom will take her to Barnes & Noble this weekend. Now, that's a good choice. Molly Daniel says, Cindy, I know my daughter enjoyed Animal Line #1 and has already asked for #2. And #2, I think, is getting ready to go to the printers. I think. Did I read that correctly from you, Cindy, if you're still listening? And the only QuadCon I can do is June 5th in Springfield, Illinois. I would like to... I'd like to get to that one. I did a show in Springfield a few years ago that Eric Meyer put on. He's from the St. Louis area. That was great. That's where I got to see Karen Nicole again for the first time in a few years. So, and I did well at that show. It was held at the Crown Plaza, beautiful place. But yeah, I think I may contact John Wells about. I'm going to get my note out so I don't lose it. About Springfield too. And yep, we got another Russian bot there. Get him. A couple of them, holy cow. And Ari stomped him, her, whatever. Carl Witzman on a related tale, a bot name that I recognize from here, trying to get me into a fight on YouTube on one of my comments. Go away, troll, not wasting my time. Good for you. And trying to time this right, don't die feed cookie. Well, we're a little behind schedule. We're actually had another hour onto this. And while I go for a trip to the supermarket, we're still going, and good to know, Rick. Well, we're going to try to rush through it now so I can get cookie fed. Nick Tockert says, if we were plugging comic shops in Michigan City, Indiana, I must plug Heroes Haven at US 2 at 296 US 20. Michigan City, Indiana for comics, merch, and games. I originally play tested Big Stompy Robots there. Pat rules. If I'm ever up in that area, I will definitely check that out. And there she is, Cindy Cap. Molly, Animal Eye number 2 has all the art done. It needs formatting and printing. It's with the publisher now. Yay, Cindy. Thank you for ending this show on a up note. But anyway, and we're also almost out of coffee, and I've got to get Cookie ready for work. So we are going to call it at 2 hours even. All right. Thank you all for your comments, each and every one of you. So let's flash through the closing of the show, which includes our constant gratitude to the amazing Jeffrey Hayes and Plasma Fire Graphics. Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you. Great graphics, great to deal with, great in the pricing, great. Scott, why aren't you contacting Jeffrey Hayes at plasmafiregraphics.com or checking out the Plasma Fire Facebook page immediately? You need that because a great piece of art will sell that book of yours. Plasma Fire Graphics has that art. So check them out, all right? Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you, because it definitely matters to your readers. Also, we're a part of the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. Please give our Facebook page a like, if you would, please. And later on today, we've got John Celestri, the original gangsta, spreading his joy and artistic talent all over the interwebs. He's got a great show this afternoon. And also, we have great programming tomorrow, such as TED Talks. There will be no TED Talks tomorrow morning due to Glenn B. Fleming being ill. Get well fast, Glenn. We love you. But tomorrow night, Comic Book Spectrum at 7 p.m. with myself, Eric Hawkins, Clyde Hall, and Brian Rodman, where we talk about the latest comic book stuff. And Joe probably still feeling sickly, but we'll definitely have you on as soon as you feel better, Joe. But anyway, we review comics, we talk comics, and we got stuff to talk about. Maybe we'll talk about the union thing happening at Image right now. Are we for it? Are we against it? Well, the answer may surprise you, so tune in tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central for the answer. Also, don't forget Stupid O'Clock at Thursday night with Joe Dog McKeel and friends as they talk geeky, they talk nerdy, they talk science, they talk fun for 2 hours. And then Dan Holofield follows with Last Man Standing with more of the same. Check out that show. Also, please check out our Patreon page where $1 a month helps support the Rising Tide cause, and it gets you to get to read our blog. In fact, we've got a special blog that's happening over the next 3 days, detailing what could have been the 4th worst event in my life. It still could have been, but it turned out to be the 2nd best. So check out what we've got going. It's a 3-part series, and for $1 every month, you will get to read it. $5 a month gets you a sneak peek at our brand new novel, The Terrors, and we will issue chapter 28 this weekend. So please check us out. And if you want to see your name here as one of my supporters, check out what we offer you in return at www.patreon.com/Brian K. Morris. And with that, we've got a few more comments, and then we're out of here. And let's see. Jimmy Lorchard Bruin says, stay awesome, lovelies. Catch you Friday just before launching Life on Korra number 5. Looking forward to it, Mike Jimmy. Let's help. I will do what I can to help you succeed in that. Thank you, brother. So glad you're here. And Cookie, Crack the Whip. Great show. Thank you, Ace Bonnie, for being here and helping with that. And later to you, Donna. Mwah. See you soon. And hope everyone has a great day. You too, Carl. Keep writing. We need that new Matt Gasser book. Anyway, thank you all for being here. And Rick Bradley says, everyone take care and stay creative. You too, brother. Have a fantastic day. And we hope you have a fantastic day too out there on the interwebs. We hope that you give someone a smile, because that's the best way to improve somebody's day. And if nothing else, it weirds some people out, which is kind of cool too. But anyway, we've got things to do. We've got a short story to edit and a couple of pitches to put together. So the work never ends. We're glad to say that. And hopefully they'll reach a point where you're overwhelmed with the thing you love to do too. And remember, creativity. Remember what Harlan Ellison said, we have a holy chore in front of us. And it's our duty to keep producing. So anyway, I look forward to seeing what you guys do, and I'll keep doing my part. And if you want more information on what I do, go to risingtide.pub. Sign up for our monthly newsletter. A special edition is went out last night to tell people we were not going to be at SalukieCon this weekend, because SalukieCon's been pushed back till April 15th, 16th. Anyway, it's in the newsletter. So please check that out. And also, we've got some new secret links, this new quote, and we do that every month. It goes out on the first of every month. So definitely sign up at risingtide.pub and get more information on what we do here at the Rising Tide. And so with that, we are going to take our leave, everyone. Hope you have a fantastic rest of your hump day. Check out your local comic shop. Buy some comics, support your LCS. And we'll see you tomorrow night on Comic Book Spectrum. At 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central, and also on new Nevermind the Furthermore on Friday morning. So as always, folks, stay smart, stay safe, wash your hands, and never apologize for being awesome. Have a great hump day, everyone, and we'll see you Friday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern on a fresh, live Nevermind the Furthermore. Have a good day, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching Nevermind the Furthermore, a Rising Tide broadcast network production. If you enjoyed any part of this show, please give it a like or a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Also, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and consider becoming one of our Patreon supporters. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time on Nevermind the Furthermore.
Hey, yo, Pops here. Are you looking to be on Monday Madness? Is Monday no good? You need a special edition? Are you looking to be on the first timer spotlight on for you new guys? Launch parties, countdowns, CromCon Monthly. We got it all right here at the Madness Comic Network, providing online promotional services for the indie comic community and proud sponsor of
Comic Books for Kids provides comic books to kids in hospitals and cancer centers across the U.S. It's a place where we can all work together to make sure every child has a comic book. 100% of all proceeds go towards the kids. It's about making a difference, and while they're in the hospital, allowing them to fly like a superhero, battle dragons, or rescue teddy bears. We are in every state in the country and now support over 160 hospitals. Every month, we add more.
Visit cb4k.org.
Author Cindy Kep is writing on the edge. Books include Remnant in the Stars, The Loudest Actions, Lines of Succession, Mindstorm, Condemned Courier, the Yerushalayim series, and Animal Eye. Find author Cindy Kep at CKOEPP.com today.
Hi, I am Joe D. McPhee. I am the host of From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher, and I want to cordially invite you to watch our show Saturdays at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. On our show, we will have different guests as well as talk about the comic book industry and pop culture. And every so often, I might actually do a drawing session or a 3D rendering session every here and there. So once again, I want to invite you to watch From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher right here on the broadcast channel that you're looking at, whether it be Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Hope to see you there, and make certain that you catch From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thanks.
Secrets, trust, worth. The bond between souls intertwined within otherworldly intrigue. Michaela Jade brings forth the Elite Warrior series, a collection of dark fantasy romance novels set in a twisted world where power lusts in the hearts of men and devotion seduces the souls of women. Warrior's Secret, Warrior's Trust, and Warrior's Worth. Available now at authormichaelajade.com.
From author Brian K. Morris comes an epic tale of armor forged by a god, a hero forged by courage, and an ancient menace poised to re-emerge and threaten our world. Volcana, Rebirth of the Champion, is available on Amazon.com. Get your copy today.